Hello friends, hello fellow entrepreneurs. Hope you're doing well. It's me again, and today we're gonna go over a beautiful subject, a subject that I really wanted to talk about, and I've been wanting to shoot a video about this, and it's time that I talk about that, and it's about our thoughts. And our thoughts could either be conscious or unconscious. And just to let you know that you have a choice when you're making these thoughts. Like, you could be intentional about your thoughts, and those are your conscious thoughts. Those are the ones the thoughts that you're thinking about, the thoughts that are productive, the thoughts that are helpful for you. Unfortunately, there is another type of thoughts, which is the unconscious thoughts. And those thoughts are reactive, basically. And studies have shown that most unconscious thoughts are negative. Can you believe that? I mean, most of them, about 85% of them, are negative. So basically what would happen is we fall into a reactive mode and then end up sabotaging our lives because we are in more reactive mode rather than being more on proactive mode. Or what I call is, instead of reacting, you want to respond. And so it's going to take some time, but there is a way where you could break this pattern. Okay, there is a way where you could guide your mind into more of a conscious thoughts and have it your way and have the thoughts that you want to think about, rather than be reactive most of the time to the unconscious thoughts that are going on. And listen, it's gonna happen. Whether you like it or not, there's 60,000 thoughts a day. And be honest with you, the unconscious thoughts, most of them are gonna be negative. Your brain is just wired that way, okay? But you can break this pattern, because if you are falling into a reactive mode and sabotaging your life because of being in the reactive mode, then there is a way where you could turn that around. Because just like in anxiety, when anxiety is really high, these thoughts are coming at you. And just to let you know, when you are anxious or when you are stressed, my word of advice is don't believe your thoughts at that time, because your anxiety or your stress is lying to you. So what happens is your anxiety is high, your stress level is high, and then your brain is on overdrive with all these unconscious thoughts that are coming, and most of them, like I said, is negative. And so you fall into that pattern of following these thoughts or believing these thoughts, and then ending up into rabbit hole after rabbit hole. Trust me, I've been there. It's not fun, okay? So the first thing you need to do is have an awareness that you are not your thoughts. And to go a little bit further, you are not your feelings or emotions either. And I know that's hard to wrap your head around it, but you could ask me, like, what do you mean by that? But listen, thoughts are just gonna come and go, okay? But you are not your thoughts. Yes, they're coming from your unconscious brain, and it's coming, it's coming from your brain. But although they're coming from you, they are not your thoughts. And trust me, everybody has these thoughts, and everybody gets them, okay? And like I said, studies have shown that most unconscious thoughts are negative, and in fact, 85% of your thoughts are negative, which means that you're reacting 80 to life most of most of your day. 85% of your day is being spent reacting to these unconscious thoughts. But you could do something about it. You could become intentional with your thoughts. You could become proactive with your thoughts. You could be more of a respondent to your thoughts, and you could turn it around. Now, I know it sounds like what I'm saying is simple, but it's not easy. It does take repetition, okay? It does take repetition. It does take practice. Just like this habit and this pattern took a while for it to kind of get in there, this new habit and new pattern is going to take some time for you to get good at. And so basically what you need to do is first have an awareness that you are not your thoughts, and you are just an observer of your thoughts, and you are not your feelings, and you are just an observer of your feeling. Now, second is you want to identify those thoughts, and you want to identify these negative feelings or negative emotions that don't serve you. So you want to identify the negative thoughts. So once a negative thoughts comes in, you're like, okay, there's a negative thought, but there it is, and I'm just watching, and just let it be, and eventually it'll just pass by, basically. Okay? And don't get into it. Don't try to defend yourself. Don't try to argue with it or anything like that. Like, okay, there it is. I'm just choosing. I accept the fact that it's there, but I'm choosing to disregard and focus on something else that I want, and something else that's more important to me, and something that brings me happiness and brings me joy and actually brings me some productivity, rather than getting entangled with this thought. So if you focus on what you want and focus on what brings you joy, rather than focusing on what your anxious brain wants, which is basically just endless chatter and chatter and chatter, going after rabbit hole after rabbit hole. Because remember, your brain just amplifies everything that you focus on. So even if a negative thought comes in and you focus on that, and either you react with fear, then your brain is just going to keep sending more messages like that on automatic. And again, it has nothing to do with you. It's just on automatic, basically. The way I like to think about it is basically, once these unconscious thoughts come in, or they just, like, I call them my anxious thoughts, basically, they start coming in, it's like, okay, the radio's on, but it has nothing to do with me, and it's just endless chatter on the radio, basically. Okay? And the third is to break those patterns by repetition and by persistence, and by telling yourself the truth about your thoughts, and remembering what you're about, what the truth is about, versus listening to the lies from your brain, basically. Again, don't go negative, don't go arguing, just always remember the truth, that you are not your thoughts, and you are who you are. And as long as you remember who you are, and then focus on what you're working on, then those thoughts will pass by. Okay? So guys, remember, in summary, and it's important that you remember this, is that the first thing we need to do is just be aware of this important fact, that you are not your thoughts, you are not your feelings, and you're not your emotions. Okay? Second, identify those negative thoughts as soon as they come in. Okay? Or identify the feelings and emotions that as soon as they come in, and then feel them, and then let them go. Okay? So be aware of it, and then just let them go. Okay? And then replace them with something else. Okay? So identify them, be aware of them, and then replace them with release them and replace them with something else. Third is repetition and getting better at it, and breaking these patterns that you built up, and by telling yourself the truth, and then by solidifying that truth by repeating to yourself, either with mantras or with affirmations. Okay, you guys, I hope this helps. I hope this kind of guides you in the right direction and gives you a new picture about reacting versus responding, and helps you in the future, as with your daily activities, with your daily projects that you're doing, especially at work, when all these other thoughts keep coming in. I can't do this. I'm not that good at this. Who am I to think that I could do this? I'll tell you, who you are is an incredible being. Who you are is a perfect being, designed to be perfect and designed to do well. And so if you remember that, and then instead of seeing like, I can't do this, or I don't have the capabilities of doing this, remember that you can and you will, and you can and you will be able to do it as long as you put the effort into it and focus on what you want rather than what you don't want, or rather than what your brain wants you to think that you can't do it, okay? Because it's an easy route. Like, let's not do it. It's an easy route. But you are more than capable. You are more than able to do this, because remember, you are limitless, you are invincible, and you can do it. Guys, listen, I hope this video helped you out. I hope it guided you in the right direction. And if you're looking for one-on-one coaching, one-on-one recovery from anxiety, or one-on-one coaching for business, for people that are, you know, I call them like the anxious entrepreneurs, please DM me or put your information or get in contact with me in the comments, and I'll leave a link down there, and then you guys are more than welcome to get in contact with me. Until next time, you guys have a great day, enjoy it, and remember, you can and you will heal from anxiety. Bye guys.